Good morning. We're out in the woods today. My son and I are hanging out at the duck pond and he's digging in the water, digging in the mud. Oh, he's climbing trees now. My little wild man. So today's going to be a great day. I got a whole bunch of leaf mold, and so I'm going to be able to start finishing up the garden, and I'm going to put some mulch in the garden on the pathways, use up what we've got left. We're also going to start some tomato seedlings. Finally, it's time for that, and plant some stuff out in the garden. Who knows, we might not get to all of that, but that's the goal, and today is going to be a great day. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe and like, and that would help me out a whole lot. Let's go. If I told you guys how much I love my ducks, I get to feed them now. Let's see. Look at these guys. Who wouldn't want to have these in their backyard, right? So we've got Rose, Petals. Puddles is walking away now. Jasper with the black and the green, and then Little Brown. Okay, I got some other stuff I gotta do, so have fun, guys. So it's evening time, and that means that it's time for planting seedlings. It's a good day. I like being able to plant stuff. And I want to point out something really exciting. I have knee pads, and I'm so excited about them. This is like a girl's best gift for the garden. Let me show you how they work. Okay, so it's kind of obvious, but I don't know if you're like me, or when you go to the garden, there's always this awkward shuffle, and yes, there's some garden pads that you can sit on and kneel on, but then you gotta, like, when you shift over, you gotta like stand up, move it over, even if you just want to shift over a little bit. These knee pads are lightweight. They're made for the garden. I got them from Walmart for like $7 in the garden center, and it's pretty much been life-changing. So if you guys need something to help you be more mobile in the garden without getting completely dirty everywhere, these knee pads are a lifesaver. And all you have to do is kneel down, and there you are. They're padded, they're super cozy, comfy, and I mentioned they're lightweight, right? So you don't feel like this huge construction worker or something walking around with these things on. So I love them. They're wonderful. And now I get to plant seeds. So what I get to plant today is, we've got Swiss chard. I'm going to save the celery for a little bit later, so we're not going to get those out yet. Artichoke, dinosaur kale, wild rocket arugula. We got mustard greens, May Queen lettuce, asparagus lettuce, red Russian kale, butterhead lettuce, and then a rocky top lettuce mix. Now the mix I'm going to wait a little bit longer on as well. But all the rest of these things are going in today, and I'm so excited about it. Now this is my first year growing artichoke. And these are my artichoke plants. Do you see how they came up? I kind of thought that these would be more difficult to grow, but apparently every single seed that I planted popped up and is going strong. So I'm super excited to see how those go, and I want them to be perennial in this area. So I picked a variety that should be perennial, and I'm super excited to see if they stay perennial. Once again, the cat's in the catnip bed. I think they think I planted that for them. Either way, I enjoy watching them have fun in it. So I've got my handy dandy garden map out, And I'm planting a lot of the lettuce and the kale today. And I want to point out that I put them right here. And I have my trellises right here. And so the idea here is that it's cool now, so it's not going to be too much of a problem. But later on in the summer, I'm still going to want to have lettuce and kale and things like that. Now, I'm probably going to have to pull out my spinach at a certain point. But I'll replant that with some more lettuce. I love having my kitty cats with me. But they are going to be shaded by what's going to be planted here. Now, the peas will come out later on in the summer as well. And instead, I'm going to have white scallop, and that is a squash, a summer squash, and then rampiacante. I think I'm saying that right. And that's going to be there as well. So, Edward. Oh, don't you chew on my seedlings. No way. So, those are going to get really big and bushy, and they're going to pretty much cover the entirety of these trellises. And so my sun comes and shines this way. And so in the summer, this back area right here is going to be very shaded if I keep it behind those trellises there, and those fill in really well. So my lettuces grow better in shade when it's hot. And so I'm going to be able to have thriving lettuces at that point. And I'm super excited to have places like that. Those are the little microclimates within your garden that you can really be aware of and utilize well when you discover what they are. This is Edward. I got him from a ad in the paper that said free kittens. And I was all alone in my life at that point. And so I went over and I grabbed myself one of the kittens. Now my idea was I needed a companion, somebody who would be loving and cuddly. So when I went in, I said, which kitten? I don't even care what they look like. Which kitten is your most cuddly kitten? And this little girl in the background goes, you want cuddles? And I said, yes, that is the cat that I want. And so Edward came home with me. He was originally known as Cuddles, and that name would still have suited him. So I'm getting these little lettuce pods into the ground. Today I'm using a seed tray that had these little pods that I used, and I only use that just because I had them laying around. So it's not like I go out specifically and get those. I think someone gifted them to me. And at this point, I'm thinking that this may be the way to go because it is so easy to just kind of stick them in the ground. You don't have to worry about popping them out of the tray or disturbing their roots or anything like that. I don't know. I got to see how they grow as they grow in the garden here. But right now, I'm digging it pretty good. Get it? Digging it? That's a gardening pun. Anyway, so this is my favorite time of day. I absolutely adore late evening, twilight time, and when the whole world turns gray. And sometimes in the evening, things will turn a little bit purple or a little bit red or pink, and but most of the time it's when the whole world turns a little bit gray. This has got to be my favorite time in the garden. And it's peaceful, it's restful. It's like a sigh of relief. The day is bustling and exciting, and there's so much stuff going on, full of activities, and the morning is so full of potential, and you have all these plans and things that you want to do. But the evening is just, it's a sigh of relief. And it might be a little bit weird that that's when I become the most productive in the garden, but it's just when I want to be out here the most. And there's just something so meditative and soothing about going into the garden in the evening and putting some plants in the ground. I mean, it's also a good time to plant plants so that they don't get too stressed out by having to go through the whole heat of the day as they're trying to adjust to their new beds. So I wanted to talk a little bit about how I'm planting really early. So here are my baby lettuce seedlings, and you can see that I did not thin them out too much. I am a firm believer that plants like to have company, and so I'll thin them a little bit, but I'll leave 3 or 4 together if it's lettuce, and 2 or 3 if it's radishes or beets or something like that. But we're still getting nights that are below freezing. May 3rd is our last frost date, and we're still in March right now. So I'm planting the cold weather crops, and it's a little bit early even for some cold weather crops without putting any kind of fleece or anything on top of them. But I really think that one of the main reasons why I'm able to do this is because I have this leaf mold. And if you saw any of my other videos, there's one that I did that is about mulch and different types of mulch, and I was shoveling the leaf mold into my trailer, and you could just see the steam billowing off the pile as I shoveled into it. And leaf mold is warm, and it's also deep, and it's not a planting medium. I don't plant the seeds into the leaf mold. I plant the seeds into the soil below the leaf mold. And since I deep mulch, there's like a 2, 3, sometimes even 4-inch layer there that the seeds are going lower than that. And let me show you a little bit. So you can kind of see, I'm gonna kind of push the leaves up around this guy a little bit, but make sure his leaves are sticking out. He can get some sun. So the leaves, you can see they're kind of like in this divot. So this is flat across the bed, and you can see that they're kind of down a little bit, and so they're protected. And the leaves give off a heat, and so they kind of give me a chance to plant a little bit earlier than I would be able to if I was planting them into straight soil. And so this is another great thing about leaf mold. You can see I planted this calendula a week ago into the bed, and it is still going strong. It's doing really well. So there's another added benefit of having a deep layer of leaf mold on top of your beds, on top of all the other stuff that we were talking about earlier. That's another reason why I love the evening. Look at that sunset. Oh, and it just stretches across the sky. So there's some mulch down on top of the cardboard now in the pathways, and that's a good feeling. I'm going to be creating another garden bed up there very soon, up against that fence where the rotating composter is. But I need to get more mulch because what we have did not, or I should say what we had, did not cover what we need. So I'll probably be getting a ton more things of mulch. I'm going to record this, and I hope you can hear it. The sound of the spring peepers. And then my other absolute favorite thing to see, my husband. Walking like Bigfoot. He is so handsome. Oh my goodness. My heart goes pitter patter every time I see him. So I realized I should probably sign off before it gets too dark for you to be able to see my face. But I'm just going to spend the rest of the evening out here in the garden, putting in my little seedlings. And I just appreciate you coming and joining me as I garden. So thank you. Please like and subscribe to my channel. That would really help me out a lot. And thank you so much. Have a wonderful day and stay blessed.